What's up, gang? Welcome to But What Do I Know with Joe. And I'm Joe. If you're new here, welcome in. And if not, welcome back. Thanks for joining me as we recap, relive, and otherwise get into Phish's performance at the Empower Federal Credit Union Amphitheater at Lakeview. That shit rolls right off the tongue. How about Lakeview? At Lakeview in Syracuse, New York. And this is Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Syracuse, they have, this will be the 10th time that they have played in Syracuse, and only the 3rd time that they played at this particular venue. So let's say we talk about it. I've taken the liberty of writing down the set list over here, I think for the benefit of the conversation. So yes, indeed. First set number 1. Getting started with Turtle in the Clouds. I feel it's a pretty strong set opener and an excellent choice. It has the option to be taken out there and jammed out, fingers crossed. And as it turns out, this was a good start. This tune, they jammed this out for a good 12 minutes, and it was certainly a bit of a surprise to me, pleasant. But it got into some early exploration right out of the gate, and just in really cool jam. Overall, an excellent way to start the set and truly set the tone for the rest of the set and show. So yeah, a good start. And one of the key factors here, and I encourage everyone to go back and listen to it, the transition from Turtle in the Clouds into Bug. The smoothness of this could not be overstated whatsoever. This is utterly absurd. There's some key change and they change this and drop that, and all of a sudden it just, whatever. Just go listen to it. So anyhow, now we're in Bug. So second song in, we're off to a really good start. And Bug is Bug. It's so great. The tune is wonderful. And then out of the tune, they get into the jam, and the jam just develops. It starts with these key changes and goes into Trey's solo and dark grooves and spaciness and whatnot. It runs the gamut. It's Bug, for Christ's sake. It's the second song, and I think this one was 13 minutes. I think I want to say it was perhaps the Big Cypress one was the next longest one. I'll find that out for sure. But anyhow, this one was phenomenal, and it went out there. It went the distance. So check it out. Bug, similar to the previous, slid right into 7 Below. And again, this also cannot be overstated how smooth this transition is. So noticing a pattern, and it's just nuts. And next thing you know, you're in 7 Below. So we're off to a really good start. This 7 Below was pretty interesting. The song itself seemed a little bit loose at times, but then they got into the jam, and it just started to really develop and really evolve. And they were so just patient and methodical about crafting, constructing. They're constructing. They're in construction. They're constructing sick jams. And they should wear hard hats, really. They should. This is probably an OSHA oversight. But that is exactly what they're doing in 7 Below here. They're constructing sick jams and in the manufactory there. And anyhow, it just flows from one to the next. Really incredibly cool stuff. 7 Below, of course, dissolves in somehow, and then we appear in Ocelot. So this trend continues, 4 songs deep of just one big musical piece that is, flowing from one to the next. So we're in Ocelot. Now this was actually the shortest tune of the entire set at just over 8 minutes. But it was Ocelot. It was great. So there's nothing necessarily remarkable about it. It was really cool, well played. I mean, outstanding. An addition to the set, you bet. But nothing out of the ordinary, if you will. And nothing wrong with that. And continuing the trend, this, you go back and listen to it. The Ocelot literally falls right into Mull. This is 5 songs running now, where it's just super smooth. Each transition, the flow is over the top, really. And so then we're in Mull, and I'm a big Mull fan. That's a cool tune. I've seen it jammed out reasonably well, and they certainly took this one out for a spin. This they jammed out pretty hard and just went for it. I mean, this went on for like 10 minutes, and they worked this up to they got it up into a rolling boil. And just, it was awesome. They jammed it out. It was incredibly cool. They actually did go and end the song, which was, stop the streak, I guess. But anyhow, that ends. And so you've got this 5-song chunk, what's going to be next. So Sigma Oasis, it is. And there you go. They get started on that. I assumed, foolishly that that would be the last song of the set. What do I know? This was really cool. The song is a great song to begin with, and that was awesome as always. They get into the jam, and it's rocking, it's jamming, it's a little more aggressive, it's harder. But it was relentless, kept rolling, kept driving, and thumping, and just grooving, just kept on. This was, like 14 minutes, I believe, the longest one of the set. And this was thick grooves with Page on the organ at one point, and Trey soloing over that, and just grinding away on the organ. Like a jam session. Really, really cool stuff all the way around, especially after all this that you've gone through. This has been a really interestingly fun set of just exploration within all these different songs. And Sigma Oasis is doing its thing, and just another crazy transition. I can't explain it. And next thing you know, we're in Ghost. So they bring back keep the dream alive, if you will. And now we're in Ghost, and Ghost is Ghost. They start ripping that up. It's super cool. And they're getting into it. They're getting out of the song and starting to jam. And Trey's solo, Jesus, it is. He makes the guitar cry. It is incredible work. Highly 12 out of 10. Just check it out, Jesus. So Ghost, they're rocking through that, and it's picking up speed and really getting cool, and then it just cuts off because the webcast cut off. So that apparently happened for a lot of folks. Don't know if it happened for everyone or what, or if they'll be able to fix it, or if we'll see. I'm sure the audio is there, and I'll look forward to hearing that. But there's a chunk that sadly was missing. When it came back in, let's pick up there. When it came back in, they were absolutely, it was like a pressure cooker. They were raging, and it just got even more intense from there. And they, in classic fashion, just worked it up into a ridiculous frenzy and finished the first set incredibly strong. So that is the first sets, all in. Turtles in the Cloud to Ghost. This is an exceptional set. It really is. Each song was methodical and methodically and intentionally developed to be the best song that it could, and to shine, and they did just that. It's like each tune was allowed to become what it was supposed to, and then to literally, in most cases, slide right into the next one. I mean, this is, I just feel, really incredible work here. So that that wraps up set number one, and then pause, need a little break, and after that we are jumping into set number two, and starting out with Sand right out of the gate. So Sand, that is a strong second set opener. That's a strong opener anywhere you put it, but it usually leads to a good time overall. Sand usually starts out on the darker side of the spectrum, and tonight is certainly no different. It started out dark, patient, and just it slowly developed. And this is certainly the trend in the first set, and they're rekindling that straight away. It did give a shout out to Mungo Jerry in the summertime. They jammed on that for a bit, but this was a jam evolution. Sand was, I think, 19 minutes plus or something, and it was from light to dark to space, all points in between, and just, it was amazing. It covered so much ground, and really, did tons of exploration, and just the patient jamming and finding the right avenue that they all would go down. This was absolutely outstanding, and it did its thing, and then one thing leads to another, and you're in, everything's right. This is yet another smooth and seamless transition from one tune to the next, following the trend of set one, of course. But Sand just dips right into everything's right, as if we've been there all along, and we get started on that. Everything's right is I dig the tune. It's generally a lot of fun, and it usually leads somewhere very cool. And tonight was no different. Aside of the segue and going through the song, the jam was really tight right out of the song, and they're throwing it down. It's sick. It's cool, and they opt to just put it out there. It's like they open a hydrant and just the music just blasts out. It's crazy. This was really incredible, especially coming off of that Sand, and it just raged. It was incredibly cool. Yeah, very cool. Everything's right. That was like 12 minutes or something. They let the music out, and it morphed. It had a woo section for those who were into that. It had lots of sick grooves, and went unfinished as it just dissolved, and of course naturally flowed seamlessly now into What's the Use. And What's the Use? Great tune. Love this song. And so you've got a just absurd start here. And that's after this first set, by the way. So you notice we're building. This is incredible. And then What's the Use? So it's such a great tune to see, to hear in general, but to see. And especially if you're you're within a crowd who knows when to shut the fuck up and let the band do really delicate, soft, quiet things. That's extremely refreshing. Let's be really honest. And this was one of those nights, and they brought the jam down in quiet, step at a time, to the point where I wasn't listening with headphones, but I think it was just dead, gone, totally gone. I don't know. But it was so just non-existent, and then very slowly and very surely revived it and brought it back to life, and then not only to life, but then to this ridiculous peak, which was just fucking sick. So yeah, that's What's the Use? And again, just the flow of all this is just nuts. So yeah, that peaks and then dissipates, and of course naturally, very naturally flows directly into light, as if it were written this way. So you now we're the fourth song in, and it is just flowing like water, basically, and it's the obstacles are stepping stones. The line from Light is it came to mind because in this tune in particular, but this show recently in general, there's no nothing's slowing them down. Nothing's getting in their way. They're just gonna tromp right over it, which is just so cool. And this was an effortless flow from one groove to another. It just a masterclass. Truly incredible work in this Light, and it's it covered a ton of ground, and there were so many different avenues and so many different feels to it, and just again a phenomenal performance, and to cap off all of these songs in front of it and everything. It truly stupendous, absolutely, and that's Light. You jam through Light, and it reaches a point of dissolving or whatever, morphing, and just the next thing you know, it kicks the Fishman with the drum beat, and like you'd been there the whole time, and into 2001. So this is just shaping up to be. This is just sick. Let's be honest. And so yeah, 2001, and that is 2001 is 2001. Jesus Christ, it's nothing extraordinary, just standard awesome. With the peaks and everyone's screaming and shouting. They build it up. It's awesome. So they come out of that Blaze On, and I thought that was a little odd, but what do I know? So okay, Blaze On, play whatever the fuck they want. Super tight in the beginning, and went through the song, and nothing wrong, everything's cool, and they start to jam, and then Trey speaks up, mentioning that there's a weather issue and they're gonna have to stop playing. They're being told they're gonna have to stop playing early, and they just to maximize things, they're just not gonna keep playing, and they're not gonna play an encore. So didn't give a time frame, but and for me, I'm thinking, hey, play this Blaze On until they pull the plug, right? So whatever. But they didn't do that. Blaze On, I think, 11 minutes or something, 10 or 11. They jammed it out. It was good. A little discombobulated with this news. I'm not saying that them or me, I guess, but anyhow, they jam out on Blaze On, and then that rolls right into Caspian, Prince Caspian. So I'm thinking, hey, maybe they'll rock this out. Don't know how much time is left. And so Caspian, man, they got out of the song and started jamming, and literally right when they started, it stopped, and they went into more. And Caspian was short at 5 minutes, and more was shorter than 4 minutes. They ripped through that, and I get it. There's people there at the rain that was coming down. Apparently, was pretty bad, and so got to be something more than this. And sure, there was. It was "Say It To Me S.A.N.T.O.S," and that closed the show. And solid closer. I'm not a huge fan. But it's irritating that every time you're there and they play it, I'll be right there screaming about what space smells like. It's so it is what it is. And that ends the second in set 2. And sad to say we don't have an encore tonight. Bummer. It was the Mother Nature's encore. So second set's solid. In particular, this chunk right here, the 5 songs from S.A.N.T.O. to 2001, Blaze On in there, sure. The Caspian and more and S.A.N.T.O.S, hey, jam on it if you want. That's cool. But yeah, the first portion. So that's the show in its entirety. No encores. I feel this show does have some tremendous replay value overall. This, as I've mentioned already, this first set just hit play and enjoy the ride. It's definitely worth it. I think that's certainly is the case. Set to, I do believe this S.A.N.T., all the way through, take your pick, certainly to 2001, might as well tack on Blaze on. But this first through, the first 4 or 5, but what do I know moment for me is that light in particular. That is just extraordinarily cool. Deeply cool stuff they get into there. An otherwise outstanding show. Would have been really cool to see what they played for the encore, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. Maybe next time they'll play a couple of extras. So that's my assessment of Phish at Lakeview, Syracuse, Tuesday the 21st. But what do I know? Our journey here is ended. Until next time.